What's going on, everybody? It is Tim Buck 2 from Tim Buck Tuesday. And I really hate doing home improvement, but I love the way it looks. So, what I do is I call Wiggins Construction and Home Improvement. They fix bathrooms, windows, kitchens, sliding doors, and much more. Give Will a call today at 440-731-7654 and tell him Redline sent you. He'll get your house looking right in no time.
Comedian Sean Boyd from Just Therapy, the podcast. I got to talk to you about Detroit Auto Parts. They're the official parts store of Redline Radio. They have two convenient locations, one on the east side. You can call 216-531-7373, or the west side, 216-398-7373. Don't forget to mention Redline Radio and you receive 10% off your purchase. Make sure you hit up Detroit Auto Parts. Check them out.
What's poppin', y'all? It's your girl Shy from She Vibes, and Growing Wings Adult Services is the official sponsor of the State of the Art Studio 2. Growing Wings Adult Services have 5 years of experience of taking care of adults with disabilities. For more information, call Lisa at 234-334-7547. And don't forget to tune in to She Vibes on Wednesdays, 7 p.m. EST.
What's going on, everybody? Lee Money here from Money's Crazy Mind. And I don't know about you guys, but I know that sometimes after my trash has been picked up, man, does my garbage can smell like, well, trash. Well, if you have the same problem that I'm having, then you can reach out to Fitz's Trash Bin Cleaning LLC. They offer trash can cleaning and pressure washing. Fitz's Trash Bin Cleaning is locally owned, eco-friendly trash can cleaning service in Northwest Ohio, serving North Ridgeville and the surrounding areas. You can reach Fitz's Trash Bin Cleaning LLC at 440-752-1533 or at their website, ftbcusa.com, or you can email Brandon at ftbcusa.com, or you can check them out on Facebook, FTBCUSA. And of course, if you mention Redline Radio while you book a service, you receive 10% off the first service. That's an awesome deal. And don't forget to reach out to Fitz's Trash Bin Cleaning Service LLC today.
Thank you. It is October 1st, 2022, and this is TMI, the TMI show on Redline Radio. Welcome back. Live at yet again. Thank y'all for coming back yet again. We got a really dope show for y'all tonight. We don't have no guest in the building. The guest is us because we got a lot of topics to talk about. There's some things going on in the world. Big hurricane took place down in Florida, hitting the coast pretty hard. We got, TV shows about serial killers and motherfuckers eating people and shit. LeBron James has shaved his head bald. We got
Turn your audio down.
my phone. Oh, stupid me. Now we good. Stupid me. We also got updates from the Elijah McClain case. regarding him and the police. It's just been a real busy week. I've had a real busy week, and so I want everybody to tune in. Let's get ready to ride. I got the livest team in the city. No, scratch. My bad. I'm sorry. The livest team in the country. Scratch. I fucked up again. See, I would say world, but it's small. When you like if you were like on Jupiter. The galaxy, several galaxies.
We taking over every day.
Indeed.
Every day.
Every day to tell me.
I did that before the making, by the way.
You don't have to copyright that. But
I don't need that. I got other stuff.
Speaking of other stuff, that's not my fault.
That's me, but I can't tell you. Don't do that.
Well, how y'all feeling tonight? Tane, what's good with y'all? Yeah, introduce ourselves again for we have some new audience members.
Oh, we starting off with me?
Yeah.
It's so sexy seductive. God is known as Adrian Sherrill, model, actress. Now I can say radio personality. Yes. Owner of Body of the Goddess Beauty Studios. Come check me out at 4709 Pearl Road. I want to give a shout out to my family, the Scott family. We just laid my uncle to rest today. Keep your heads up. Stay strong. We got each other. Love y'all. See the goddess.
If y'all goddesses, like one of y'all is a goddess. What?
I'm the goddess of seduction.
Okay.
I'm the goddess of crazy.
The goddess of crazy, for sure.
Yeah.
I think I know a couple that might have you beat by that.
It's got good crazy. It ain't that
Well,
crazy.
we balance each other out. If I'm
Right.
seductive and she crazy,
Right.
somebody got to meet us in the middle.
Y'all Geminis.
I'm Central.
No, I'm a Virgo.
I'm a Pisces.
I mean, put that together. That's a Gemini.
That is a Gemini.
Okay,
We'll take that. And look, Gemini like in the middle, in between us, right here. Like
And I'm a Gemini,
Pisces,
so I get it.
Virgo, and
It
then
is.
Gemini right in the middle. We get it.
Yeah.
For sure.
We meet in the middle.
You're in like September, right?
Yep.
Yeah,
It's
so
exactly in the middle.
6, 9.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
It's
We can go
exactly
with
in the
that.
middle.
We can go with that. That'll work.
Big Nick in the building.
Yeah.
Nikki.
And they come in on the
My
astrology.
gang member is here.
Right. I want to put up. Y'all got me last time. Y'all yelled at me last time. Put my fingers up all crazy. They might click to something. I don't want that. But anywho, this is T Goddess. Also known AKA SD, but you call me T. Crazy, sexy, cool. You know how I do. Period.
For
You
sure.
can always follow me on love_goddess_body. Again, love_goddess
Oh, I forgot that.
underscore body. You know what I'm saying? I got a couple of shows coming up, so I gotta make sure I shout those out real quick. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
My little holla, I got my little glamour, you know what I'm saying? Got the little masquerade. You gotta get your tickets. Make sure you hit me up. I might get you still get that discount with that little.
You gotta start making your post shareable.
Huh?
You gotta start making your post
Oh, was it
shareable.
shareable? I'm
I've
glad you
seen
told
it.
me that. Yeah, I'll do that next time. I thought I did. I got to post up anyway. But get that little $20 off. Hit me up. Go ahead.
Now, regular guy, regular.
I don't even want to do my intro. I should do it. I'm sorry, I had to actually do my own intro. Man.
I'm gonna make it up to you today. I got you.
Y'all know I'm sexy. Man. Fully sexy.
Indeed. That's my brother right there. You know what I'm saying? And, I got to give a shout out to my man, Alpha Porter. Today at Parsi, they held the hip hop classes and dedicated the Silver Bee today. Between 1 to 6, man. So make sure y'all show support to Alpha Porter. Doing big things in the community, representing and keeping the spirit of Silver Bee alive, man. So shout out, you know what I'm saying? And another shout out to my man, Marauders Xavier, for the movie The Closest Ones. That just came out last week. I'm actually in that movie. I play a cop. I come in at the end, you feel me? Like I'm on my Law Order SVU shit. You know what I'm saying? I ain't get a chance to see the movie because I had to be here. So, but man, send me a copy of that joint, man. Send me a copy. We'll watch my scene live here on the show. You know what I'm saying? That's what we'll do. You feel me? So we'll give you some more promotion for the film. You feel me? And so let's go ahead and get into it. Oh, wait. Cause hey, look, man, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna start doing like James Brown, bro. You know what I'm saying? We got a text from people late, man. No, man, my man Nick in the building, man. He came in like that, man. You feel me? You say that again?
I said,
Okay.
it's your boy Slick Nick.
Slick Nick.
216.
Yeah, Slick Nick from the 216.
You so aggravated.
Scorpius.
Oh, we just did that earlier.
Hey, dude.
With the squad. You know what I'm saying? Squad.
Miss you too, man.
I'm glad you're here.
Glad you're here, man.
Glad
And my
you're
man,
here.
my man be
Welcome back.
getting off of work and just jetting right to the studio, man. So big shout out for the dedication, man. You know what I'm saying? He been rocking with the team for a minute. You feel me?
Right.
Got to follow your dreams. You know what I'm saying?
We got Tim behind the scenes. Let's
My
not
man,
forget our
on the
boy.
ones and twos, DJ Timbuktu doing this thing. Comedian extraordinaire, man. Make sure y'all check out my man's comedy. You know what I mean? He be doing
Say, I do become a DJ. I'm gonna be DJ 5,000 pounds.
DJ 5,000 pounds. And another bun.
I like that.
Chicken breast.
That's definitely about to be some ad libs.
For sure.
They got a little sexy, and depending on how you say it.
No, I like Timbuktu. I'm sticking with that.
DJ Timbuktu. On the ones and twos. For sure.
Is that what I'm doing? I was afraid I'm gonna lift that up.
Nah.
You better not listen. Look, no.
I believe in God. I'm gonna pray. But we're gonna get into everything, man. It's a very serious time going on in the country, you know what I'm saying? We like to come on, with some lightheartedness, jokes and everything right now, but our hearts and our thoughts and prayers go out to the citizens of Florida, South Carolina, everybody that's being affected, Puerto Rico, being affected by Hurricane Ian. He came through and fucked some shit up. You know what I'm saying? And from the last I checked, the last record is 77 lives lost between South Carolina and Florida. It's a lot of residents displaced. I got to look back at my numbers, but I think it's like right now they rescued like 1,000 people, and they're expecting the death toll to continue to rise. They also say that this is one of the largest hurricanes that ever hit the country. One of the most expensive hurricanes to hit the country, one of the fastest wind gusts to ever hit the country, and this is what we're dealing with. Now, for everybody, we're gonna find the information during the commercial break. So if anybody want to donate money to the Red Cross or whatever and help people out, we're gonna have that information for y'all as well as we get into it. But I just want to ask y'all. So, like, we live in Ohio. The worst thing that we get is snowstorms, right? You know what I'm saying? If y'all was in Florida like a week ago, what would y'all have did? Like, if y'all knew that this hurricane was coming, would you have left or would you try to keep the house?
Definitely.
You talking about if I live there?
Yeah, if you live there.
I'm finna.
It depends on how.
Me personally,
Shout out to Dave, man. Both man, he just chimed in on the show. What up, Dave?
me personally, I got 2 brothers, a stepmother, a sister in Florida. We tried everything in the world to convince them to come back home. I understood. I feel like I would have left. I understood what my brother was saying, where he said, listen, we work too hard for the stuff we have. Like, in the event that the hurricane don't hit us and we vacate, then we got to worry about noodle scooters. Like, so either way, we mess up. Either the hurricane don't hit us or the noodle scooters. Like, I'd rather be here and fight for my home. I was like, I don't agree with it, but I understand where you're coming from. So.
And I see where they're coming from too. Like, because you got to think, most people, like most of the country, live check to check. You know what I'm saying? And so, like, most people ain't even got the funds within the week to, you know what I'm saying, to try to pack up and
Start
you know what I'm saying,
and
or try to start back over. You know what I'm saying? But then you got to think you got to leave, right? You ain't got no, so your job, that means you ain't getting a paycheck. You feel me? So you have to leave your home. You feel me? And you can only take the certain stuff that you got. You know what I'm saying? And say, for instance, you got 2 cars, you can only take 1. You feel me? You know, it might not be no room for the dog. You feel me? You got to have some clothes. You know what I mean? You know, then if you got kids and things of that nature, you know, you got to have some type of food. You feel me? But so, say for instance, if you just pay rent, you know what I'm saying, and you just paid your car note, all your bills, you got like $30.
And in
You
real
feel
life,
me?
it's the first of the month. So really, people really did just pay rent.
You feel me?
They
And so
really
like,
did just
so
that
it's
last check.
tough.
I know a lot of people that been through a lot of those that still like staying there. Like they
Yeah,
say
my-
they never come
Because
back.
some of them can't afford to leave. You know what I'm saying? Like,
But I'm saying, I
brother-
know people that don't have that issue and they just want to stay there.
yeah, I mean,
My brother's been there for since 2008.
and you built your whole life there. Now, we've never experienced a storm like a snowstorm that make us have to evacuate.
Mm-hmm.
So, say for instance, if we was in a
Because we
position,
get stuck.
you can't go nowhere anyway. Like,
Hey, last year I was stuck in my house so many times.
oh yeah,
Cleveland followed us.
look, funny. That was funny. Like, so real talk. Earlier this year, me and Deli, we went down to Alabama to visit my mom, right? And it's the funniest shit. So when we leave here, it's snowing. Now we're going down to Alabama, mind you. And Alabama, it really don't snow. It don't snow at all for real. You know what I'm saying? I'm from there. It really don't snow too much. You know what I mean? And so we drive down there. We get down there, and how long was we down there before it started snowing? 2 days. So we walked
took the
through.
snow to Alabama.
Took the snow to Alabama, but peep though, the day we were leaving, Alabama was clear, right? But as we're the day we were getting ready to drive back, it's like, yeah, big ass snowstorm hit Tennessee. You know what I'm saying? And so,
y'all was taking the snow with y'all.
Right.
yeah, like it was, no, that was crazy. And it's like,
Cleveland was following our
but
They
I
don't
gotta
have
stop taking.
no
I gotta stop taking road trips with them because
They
every
like
time we take a road trip, we run into a snowstorm. We were supposed to go to New York like the year COVID hit, and I kid you not. So we on the way. So listen, we didn't even get out of Ohio, but we drove for like 9 hours. You know what I'm saying? But him, he was asleep. I was
It
asleep
don't
in
even
the home.
take 9 hours to get out of Ohio.
But it was that bad though. No, we was going to New York, but it was snowing that bad. Like you couldn't even see.
It don't even take 9 hours to get to New York, bro.
And here's the kicker. Everybody was asleep except for me. So I'm driving right, just white knuckle. You can't see nothing in front of you. It's snow everywhere, and I'm just like, and I'm looking over at everybody like,
Why y'all sleep?
like yeah, and I'm like, so I started passing gas and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm like,
I
oh,
smelled that shit too, bro. That
We
shit
got
woke me
people
up.
chiming in, y'all. We got Dave saying what's up. We got Sylvia saying,
Yeah.
How y'all feeling?
what's happening? What's
We
happening?
got Tracy saying, hey, we appreciate the fans. We're going to shout
Appreciate
y'all
y'all.
out.
Appreciate y'all. Yeah, but when we didn't make it to New York, I said nothing could stop us. The only thing that can stop us from getting to New York the next time is the whole world gotta end and shut down.
No, don't say that because
Yeah,
the way your life going,
Wait, though.
When I woke
It
up,
just
I
might
woke
happen.
up first off. I woke up because I smelled
it just
smelled
might.
the fart.
Yeah,
And
I was passing
I'm
mad
like,
gas.
I woke up
You just made me lose my.
and then y'all was talking about some man. We got to turn around, man. I'm like, not to, like, hold up. Mind you, I've
Y'all
been
was in
asleep
the
this
car
whole
while he
time.
Yeah,
He's
passing
been
gas.
driving, right?
Yeah, he didn't know how bad it was. He was
I
like, "No,
woke
we
up
can
and
keep
looked
on
at him. I'm
pressing.
like, man, we can keep going.
We can
bro.
keep going." And
We
look,
came too far.
and you don't even understand in my head and in my whole soul and inner being. I wanted to strangle everybody in the car when he. And I was like, "No, we can keep." Listen. They were saying the most positive shit. They were saying the most positive shit.
And you
Like
sitting there looking like I've been driving.
y'all, like
It's reenactment.
you feel, look, like for real. And I'm looking at them, and like there's so much rage and shit boiling over. I'm like, I'm not driving. Like I want to keep going down. They're down start driving. So we going down the icy hill, right? And down put on the gas, and I'm like, no, don't do that. And so then literally she only drove 10 minutes. I was like, yeah, so I'm gonna start driving again. But I drove back in the other direction towards home because I'm like, we're not gonna make it to New York. And it was the best decision. You know what I'm saying? So when we get back, and I'm like, you know what? The only thing that can stop is like it's all good because when we get like next time we're gonna have more money. Like it's gonna be spring.
Hey, y'all,
Like,
we got to
and-
take this.
We got to. We have to.
Tap in if y'all want to hear us.
Yeah, man. We'll come to y'all city, come to y'all town. I got people in Pittsburgh. I got people in Detroit.
And we're going to be like Daddy South.
Yeah, I'm,
City.
yeah, I'm Papa
We
Selena.
might have to reach out to Zeus Network, you know.
Yeah, I'm Papa Selena. Like, I'm keeping the band in order. But yeah, I told everybody, I'm like, the only thing that could stop us from getting back to New York is if the whole world shut down, right? Literally, the
And
week.
then COVID happened.
Yeah, literally that day. Like that week, there was like New York is shut down, and we was like, swear to God, like we was supposed to go out to New York. We was supposed to meet with Sony. We had a few, second time.
I heard that Brandon cursed us.
I didn't. It wasn't me. It wasn't me.
Brandon, the reason the world shut down for 2 years.
I do feel. Look,
We got tired of seeing the same.
I felt guilty. I did because I felt like I was the reason why, and I'm sorry, everybody.
Yeah, we got not for that one. We got to wear that L.
Yeah. No doubt. But back to the hurricane, though. Back to the hurricane. You know, so with a now one thing we have been experiencing, because I don't know if anybody been paying attention to this, but we have been getting like these major like crazy ass hurricanes back to back.
Yeah, because there's
like,
another tropical storm. So, man, like,
yeah, it's coming. It's like brewing right now. It's like this last one.
It's like, oh, y'all talking about Ian was something.
It's like they jumping us. Like,
yeah, we get
like
the
a
aftermath.
typhoon just hit Japan. You know what I'm saying? They just had to deal with a typhoon. You feel
Like
me?
this that season though, like.
Is it that season? Like it's that season, but it's like bad. It's like crazy.
But listen, we've been alive long enough to know that it's that season. Like it's really crazy because for the last couple of years, when you really got hit that bad, it's like they understood that COVID was happening. Even the hurricanes were like, listen, I'm gonna let y'all live for a little bit, but they came back like, oh, we all thought we got wisdom. They came back with a vengeance.
Like, look though, but and the vengeance ain't even a word. Like it's like revenge.
It's
but
like they get, and every year they get stronger.
the reason why they saying it's global warming, they saying it's climate change. You know what I'm
we
saying?
thought Katrina was the worst thing that was gonna happen, and now they
and that was a category 3.
Yeah,
and Ian was a category 5.
Yeah, it started off with 5 to 4, then back to 5.
Like
yeah,
it was like playing with us as it was approaching us.
It's like y'all don't know what I'm gonna give y'all.
Nah, I ain't gonna do it. Yeah, I ain't gonna do it.
Y'all ready? Wow. And he hit so hard, he tore up so much.
Yeah.
Like Florida, what is it? Fort Myers, Fort Lauderdale.
I saw some of the footage.
It's tore up down there.
I saw some of the footage. It's like there's water, like where we're sitting at, like on this floor. You know what I'm saying? The station. There was water waves like up to here, just like washing shit.
There was somebody who got a coworker. She sent a picture in our group chat where it's like literally like a roof. There's like water's like right here on the roof.
Yeah, like
and then it's people going upstairs and like
it's end of the world type of shit going on out there.
The sad part is like what you said in the group. It's not even just the hurricane hitting; it's now the aftermath where people are dying from starvation and just
not having power.
The power, like people losing.
And we're going into the winter time. Like it's like you can't. You got kids out there. Like you got kids that lost they're stranded. Their parents is gone. They got washed over here. They got washed over there. That stuff is really happening. That's not no conspiracy. That's not no false flag or nothing like that. It's people out there right now in Florida that's really going through some end of the world.
Us up north and in the Midwest, we really take life for granted.
We do. We complain about our
with that. We complain about the snow, but down south they really getting hit with some real stuff we ain't never gonna experience.
I was literally down there when a hurricane hit back when I was in college. That it was probably like around that time.
Yeah, that's
right. Because I went to school down south.
I got you.
It just missed us, and it was scary. They had the little sirens.
Yeah,
in the corner on the hard. I was like,
I grew up in Alabama.
Before we go, because somebody commented on something, and I was gonna bring that. Tyrone said, "Did you see the video of the shark?" And I actually saw that. Like,
I saw a whale. I saw the one with the whale that was stranded in front of us.
Like it's literally got a shark going through the streets of Florida right now.
Look, life ain't the same. Like
how you imagine surviving the hurricane.
I would literally.
And then the shark.
Once I see a shark swimming by me, I don't give a fuck. I'm smoking every single kind of narcotic I can get my hands on at that point.
Because at that point, it's over.
It's over.
That shark is looking for food.
Like they're down in Florida, and I know they got narcotics down there. So just imagine all them cats just floating around. There's some cocaine going around out there.
Once they take the blood from everybody, it's over. It comes for everybody.
Like, man, you just said some like that's when think about it. That like you got sharks, you got alligators. You know what I'm saying? They got alligators down there too. And so and it's
more scary.
like look, both of them. Like just imagine you got to fight with alligators and sharks at the same goddamn time for your life.
For your life.
For your life.
They can fight each other.
What? They don't fight you first. They don't get your ass first. We food. Like, they understand. In that water, we at the bottom of the food chain. They at the top. Like, we ain't nothing but
live food. They looking at us like, that is my dinner right there. And we ain't
seasoned nigga.
And we ain't right to what was that movie? The movie that they just had with you.
What?
It just came out like 2 years ago. That's really what it's wrecked down there. Tyrone said it's crazy that the governor down there turned down $9 million just to be petty against Biden. So that's stupid.
Yo. I need Google on that.
We need to Google that fact.
I need Google on that. Thank you, Tyrone. Thank you. We about to get in there, and I wanted to get into that too. You heard that? Like that was really cool.
Walrus on the side, walking the residence.
Yeah, that's in Puerto Rico. Yeah, that's what I was talking about. It was like,
I'm not a Samaritan. Oh my God, like
that's what I'm saying. I'm finding some cocaine and heroin, and I'm doing them at the same time. I'm mixing that shit, and I'm like, this is just it right here. Like
it's over. It's done. Listen,
where's the shark?
I'm somebody's food tonight. I'm going out.
Like straight up, like, and you gotta. And the thing is, like, think about how for everybody that like everybody, all these politicians on the side and all this bullshit, whatever. Like you got politicians that's turning down money. You know what I'm saying?
Like what he just said.
On some political shit, just to prove a political point, with people's lives at stake.
People's lives are at stake. At that point, you gotta let go of pride. You gotta let. How does this gotta go out the window? We talk about people's lives.
But see, it wasn't like that years ago though. Like, cause like I would like. It wasn't because like here's the thing.
As many people that hated Trump, listen, we ain't turn on.
No. I just know because I can't like growing up in Alabama, right? You know what I'm saying? When we had tornadoes and shit like that, you know, it wasn't no like, you know, oh no, we're going to refuse money from such and such because they this, that, and the third. And then like there's been natural disasters that took place back in the 90s and shit when Clinton was president. It wasn't that bullshit. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't none of that shit. It was aid getting happening. Now, if you want to go like conspiracy theory or you know go deeper as far as like the government, this, that, and the third, you know, I mean we could go there. But you know, just as far as like the record shown, and then we have people who's been affected who had actually received aid, where it's different now than it was then. You know what I'm saying? That's not that's just factual account.
Who's curating these records?
So what?
Who's curating these records?
I mean,
the same motherfuckers in question.
That's very true.
I mean, no, it's not the same because the same people in office back in the 90s ain't there now. So it ain't the same. No, laws and policies have changed a lot since the 90s and now. Like what?
Things that have not changed.
I ain't talking about amendments. I'm talking about these are all state laws. These are individual laws. Like Florida got their own laws for when it goes down there.
So you can only say what it was like in your neck of the woods when back in the day was going on. You don't know what was going on in this other state because they got a whole different, you know, laws and guidelines that they abide by on a local level.
No, you can read news. Like it's just like now how we saying
everything ain't being reported.
I mean, no, but what I'm saying is everything is being reported. But in those instances of where, like I mean, Alabama, I was living in Alabama, but just like now, like the news would be like, a hurricane hit over here. So you're watching the news and like they receive aid, boom, and it gets repaired. So that's something like you can relatively see. What I'm saying is now, no, not in my area. I'm talking about like if you're watching the news, just like now, we living in Ohio, but we're talking about stuff that happened in Florida, just like back then. I lived in Alabama, but there were still like hurricanes and national disasters that happened in Florida, Georgia, Texas, things of that nature. And those people, when it came down to aid, it wasn't all this political bullshit the way it is now.
Even if like not even going back that far, I feel like with Hurricane Katrina, the FEMA and all the people that came out and provided aid, nobody was high on their horses. Nobody was stuck in their pride. Everybody,
Yeah, it was a different time then than
everybody
it is
heard
now.
for New Orleans, and everybody came together for New Orleans. And then Mississippi got hit with the aftermath. We came together for Mississippi. That politics, we didn't care nothing about.
Yeah, it was the incompetence with the
I
lady.
think that was during the reign of Bush. That was Bush.
Yeah, but
Except for Katrina.
but no, he fucked up. Like he fucked up.
No, so we ain't gonna say Bush did because Bush took forever to get out there.
It was the people who
Yeah,
didn't care about
that's
the
what I'm saying.
politics.
It's the people.
To everybody that was suffering through Katrina, because at one point I remember the news opening up. This was the year I graduated, 05. They literally said that buses had stopped coming.
They did.
Yeah.
They left a lot of people stranded.
They did.
I'm gonna just put it all.
But that was incompetence. That was different though. That wasn't based on politics. That was based on incompetence because it wasn't like that was that. Yeah, it was based on incompetence and racism because
So yeah, let's look at the areas where the buses stopped coming to because
those are black areas.
Let's look at Ninth Ward. Ninth Ward got hit the hardest. Ninth Ward also got ignored the most because that's nothing but a black people area. That's the worst area in New Orleans. So they looking at them like they lives don't matter anyway.
With a natural disaster, everybody has to get, you know what I'm saying, help.
We agreed.
I don't care about race. You know what I'm saying? Like that's where
agreed. That's where everybody going wrong.
That's where everybody have a problem. You know, I mean, of course, it shouldn't matter about a color. If I'm suffering from a natural disaster, we done lost our places to live. People's families are dying. You know what I'm saying? I need some help. It shouldn't matter about skin my color, whether I get help. You provide water, food, and other stuff for these people over here. I mean, I'm literally watching it on the news. You know, they had cases like almost up to the
definitely did.
You know what I'm saying? So on the other hand, you got these people over there, the same type of help. They not getting nothing. I don't know that. I'm sure.
I mean, nobody does.
If we look at Puerto Rico,
you know what I'm saying?
Puerto Rico is hurting.
Puerto Rico got hurt the last time.
They getting hit back to back.
They never got hit from the last time they got hit.
Recovered from the last time.
People out here, though.
Tyrone said, "I'm a truck driver and I was sent to Louisiana for Hurricane Ike and sat around all week doing nothing. They paid me $8,000 for the week to do nothing while people in Houston suffered." Damn.
Like.
Damn.
Yeah, the politicians wasn't on fuckery back then.
No, I said no. I didn't say that about Katrina. Because like
even before Katrina, like it's all designed to do the same shit.
Yeah, no. What I'm saying is
the rich gonna be protected before the poor.
No. What I'm saying is now, like I'm not saying that it was good back then. What I'm saying is now it is worse than it was.
Yeah,
that you have more political bullshit now taking place than you did back then. And when I say back then, see you young. Katrina is back then for you. I'm talking back then like in the 90s. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying. I feel like it's not more. It's just more exposed.
Yeah, that's really what it is.
No. What is the difference between being more exposed? What I'm saying, like back then,
it's worse. I just think it's just more
continuation of just
more knowledge being passed around faster now.
No,
so we finding out about it in real time.
So
back
then
then it took us longer to find shit out.
So you saw it.
Yeah, like it was.
But we didn't know, and you in Alabama, you know y'all getting hit. You seeing all the damage because you in it. Us in Cleveland, Ohio, we didn't see that. The world wasn't showing us that. What he's saying is now in Cleveland, Ohio, the world is showing us. We see that.
I mean, the level of footage you can get now on anything.
Polarized because of social media. That's what Tyrone said.
The amount of footage you can get on everything because everybody's able to post and show at different angles now. Of course, it is going to be more exposure to what is actually going on. There's the you know how you hear about the third world problems and some people say, oh, I got a first world problem. Like we didn't know about third world problems as heavily as we do now because we didn't have that exposure to this level of media.
Yeah, what I'm saying is
it's hard to
and what I'm saying is now it is heightened more than it was before.
It is.
Now is where it's like they're not even hiding it. Is where I'm not sending like no, we're not going to refuse aid from Biden because he's a Democrat. You know what I'm saying? Before it was where, yeah, we're gonna accept some, but not all. Or they have these other reasons why, or they would just accept the fucking aid. Like it was a different time, like fucking 30 years ago than we dealing with now. And that's just a fact. Like we are dealing in different times now where because of the internet, everything is more exposed, everything is more polarized. So now when people get into their politics, they get deeper into their politics. And they fall deeper into the bullshit because you got people now. Before you had people, like they were Republicans, but you got people that's riding the dime for these motherfuckers now. Like before, they lost an election. Yeah, people voted for George Bush, but they weren't fucking trying to take over the White House because George Bush lost. You know what I'm saying?
Mad. What's Kerry that one was John Kerry? What's his name? Kerry that one against Bush.
John Kerry, yeah.
We was mad when he succeeded. Like
Al Gore lost. Like Bush beat both, and Bush really lost to both of them motherfuckers.
Yeah.
It was like, how did he win? But nobody threw up the fucking White House about this shit. I mean, yeah, they knew. His daddy ran the CIA.
Just like us as black people, we knew the police were out acting like gangbangers with badges, but now the world sees it 50 times when you scroll down your timeline.
Exactly. It's not that it's gotten worse; it's just more exposed.
It's just more exposed.
No. What is more like that's like saying what I'm talking about is records of people receiving aid back then compared to now. Like that's not the internet is showing that more. Is where back then people received. It was exactly. You know what I'm saying? Like now it's like everything is broken down in the politics. You know what I'm saying? Like everything. You know what I'm saying?
Now it's like you get more points if you give aid. Like the president looks good for going to Florida and giving a speech and say, we as a country feel for Florida now, and then the country like, yay, the president is there, he's with us, he's struggling, but he's not. It's all political.
Exactly. You don't know what kind of deal they had to cut with that state.
It's all political.
Accept that money.
Political.
That's true. But here's the thing: it's an awesome difference because the storms are worse now. Like you got storms that's taking out a whole fucking state.
Yeah.
Rather than like back then, how many of these kind of storms happened? Like, and I'm talking like 30 years ago, like in the 90s, like 80s.
Quick question. I don't know. I'm asking because I don't know. What was the death toll of Katrina?
Who was that?
What's the death toll? Can you find that on Google?
I remember at one point. In this same amount of time, from the time it hit till
within a day.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, the first day.
Katrina was bad. It was really bad. My brother and my sister all lived in New Orleans. It was bad.
Yeah.
It
and it was like the way Katrina's built, it's like shaped like a bowl. So just if you had a city inside of this ashtray.
1833.
18. Because Katrina broke that
dam.
That dam in New Orleans. So that is, in Louisiana, it just that itself wiped out all of New Orleans.
Yeah, it wasn't even the fact that the hurricane was that bad.
It was that dam.
It was the fact that the dam was broken and like in the city sits below the sea level. You know what I'm saying?
If you ever been to New Orleans,
so let's think about that.
It's nothing but water.
Let's think about that aspect for a second. Hold on. That dam, it had to be sanctioned by who? To be built.
The city.
So the city had to know about a budget, and they had to have many steps that goes into making sure that you're permitted to do this type of job in this type of area and this, So you mean to tell me that you just gonna? I'm asking all of y'all as citizens of wherever you from, are you going to sit there and really believe that for the much process and paperwork that has to go through first before the first stone you can get set, it broke in an area that devastated a certain group of people? So funds were probably, safe to say the funds were probably misappropriated in different places, but then they should have been, instead of actually ensuring that that thing was up to code and meant to withstand what it was built for.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, that's probably. Yeah, it's just like in Mississippi where they took all those welfare funds and gave it to Brett Favre. Like the government misappropriate money all the time, especially when it comes down to lower income areas. You know what I'm saying? Like what happened in New Orleans was like all they had to do was, I mean, not knowing what their books was like, not knowing what their money was like, was to basically like shore up the dam. Always like repair the dam, make sure that if a hurricane does happen, that it's not going to break. They didn't do that. And the government, same thing with water in Flint, Michigan. Same thing with water in Mississippi.
My brother was in the military. He was stationed in New Orleans when Hurricane Katrina happened. I know how much we knew how bad that hurricane was going to hit. My brother and his entire family was evacuated before the hurricane hit because we knew what the death toll was going to be. The whole military was evacuated. And I know I'm pissing a lot of people off, but I feel the way about it back then, and I still feel the way about it now. I'm glad my brother was evacuated. I'm glad that my family survived that, but they could have did more.
Yeah, that was on George Bush watch. That was definitely like George Bush. He let all those people die.
George Bush 100% let all those people die. And like I said, my brother was in the military. Jesus, they was evacuated because my brother is my only big brother, and I would have moved. Jesus, but you could have took your military. New Orleans got a big military. I went down there. I visited my brother. I've been on their base. I know what it's like. Y'all could have took it and y'all could have built that dam up stronger. Y'all had enough time. Y'all knew what the
manpower, technology.
Build it up. Even if y'all still evacuated, build it up before you evacuate.
You know how much they invest into our military every year? Like $900 billion. $900 billion.
Listen, I ain't gonna
and you military, right? So you was from the military, so and you seen it, like you know what I'm saying. So like when it comes down to natural disasters that hit our country, you know what I'm saying, that happens to our people.
That's true.
That's why it'd be
like where's all the money going?
Because the base in New Orleans don't got it right.
Yeah, but with all that money.
I knew fellow soldiers that got deployed over there for Katrina and stuff like that.
Right.
But the whole thing is you also have to keep in mind, it's not like they just taught us how to do certain
stuff.
Didn't. They just throw you in there and be like, hey, you gotta do this, you gotta do that. And they expect you to do it real fast.
Yeah, because my brother, like, even though they evacuated his family, but then they brought him right back. Like, okay, your family safe, get your ass back in there. And it was like, he ain't know what to do, and we sitting on pins and needles the whole time. Like,
you never know what you're doing.
I think that. Oh my bad. I think that go back to what you said, incompetency. Like, because obviously if they wasn't smart enough to, the reaction.
That's on purpose.
Yeah, I mean it could be. It could be. I'm not doubting that.
Yeah, keep them incompetent so that they can keep them in control.
Majority, and I hate to say it, because people be like, they always talking about race, but if we're gonna be honest, we're gonna be honest. The faces that are getting here are majority black, majority faces, and if I'm in politics and I want to even out the numbers,
South Carolina's majority white though.
Okay, but South Carolina was the African.
This is an unpopular opinion, but it's not about race.
It's not about.
But
race.
I think they ran
it's
into.
about money.
They want you to think it's about race.
No, it's about money. It's 100% about money.
It's actually about.
It's money.
It's all control, power.
It's about who can afford to spend the most money to get
money
the most
is
help.
It don't have no more value than what you place on it. You can get the majority of people to place on it.
Yeah, it's about power. It's about
as far as the weather.
It's about the next election.
No,
aftermath of
no,
it.
it's the aftermath. It's about it's the next election is coming up.
Mm-hmm.
But I think they would have ran into the same issue. Like I think they still ran into where we're gonna put everybody once we evacuate. Yeah, they absolutely. I'm not trying to take away from dropping the ball, but I mean,
millions of people, where they gonna go?
Exactly. So you run into the same issue, and then like you said, these people they really can't move.
They can't.
And then here's the thing: you're gonna find out how bad a hurricane is within about maybe 2 to 3 weeks, right?
Exactly.
And so you have millions of people from different cities. You know what I'm saying? Different states that you have to evacuate. You know what I'm saying? So, like, we have competent minds here, but let me ask you all an honest question. How many people will be able to put together a really good plan with, like that's going to save everybody?
Nope.
Where you're not going to look bad to somebody.
You're not going to be able to save everything.
You're not. So here's the thing, though. Now this weird. Now I'm gonna ask this. So if you because here's the thing. Like politicians, we say they. We like to say they a lot. Like there are some like spooky, like weird people in the background and shit. Like all these politicians, every single politician.
They work for the same corporation. So
all right, cool. What corporation is that? McDonald's?
The United States government.
All right, the United States government that's made of what? Human beings? Are they aliens or are there actual people that's there? Like
it's made
are they
of
robots? Like
made of agents.
But are those agents people? Are they born? Are they made out of a test tube? Are they raised? Like, where they come from? Where are these agents from?
Human beings that are in agent persona. You feel me? Like they're
right
to do their duty, and once you actually become.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, say for instance, we got kids, right? Can one of our kids grow up one day to be an agent?
Yeah, they could.
Right.
If we allowed them to, and if they decided to.
Where is the application? Because I want my kid to be an agent. That might help me out.
Already, our default one is just us a matter of letting them know the difference between their agent and them as a natural person.
You know how you get selected? They watching everybody from when they're kids. They look at your test scores. You know what I'm saying? They look at how you acted in school fights, how you acted. They check out all that shit. Your family.
FBI too.
Yeah, they do.
The FBI is real intense.
Yeah, and it's like, and it's crazy how much they know about you when you go into that room. I can't just say per se name or whatever like that, but you know what I'm saying, like a family member per se, in that position, it's where like these are my whole point is these are regular humans. They start off with all these politicians, everybody, the regular human beings. You know what I'm saying? They're fucking born. You know what I mean? Either they're born in a political family or they run for politics. Like my uncle, he's a politician. He ran for politics. Like he didn't come from no Illuminati family because I know my grandfather, I know my grandmother. You know what I'm saying?
But do you know them?
Yeah, I know them. Like, or were they secret agents? You know what I'm saying? Were they secret agents and shit? I mean, who the fuck knows, right? But my uncle is a politician.
Do you know what they was doing?
I mean, by the legal sense of an agent, the legal definition.
No,
like when we talk
revolution and that. I don't know where you just went. Like we talk about the revolution.
Like my uncle ran for office, and if he really got elected, he would have won. He would have been a politician looking like everybody else. You know, like all the other motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? So these whatever, like however you want to, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, they make deals. Rules.
Politicians sit at a table like
they make laws. And last time I checked, laws and rules.
Now they go on the golf course and you discuss business.
Indeed. So laws, they make deals, laws, all that shit. Either way it goes, when you if you drive too fast and you get a speeding ticket, that's because of some shit that they worked on. You know what I'm saying? The deal that they made. We have laws, drug laws, murder laws, all that shit. Those are laws. Those are rules, quote unquote rules that we have to abide by.
It reminds me of when we was kids, and they had that little thing that used to see us the bill. So I had a bill on Capitol Hill, a little video.
So here's the thing. So here's the thing. But this is what I'm talking about though. Now, how many people in this room would want their kid to go into politics? How many?
I want at least one in there.
Right, because you know who got their kids in the politics? The Italians. The Jewish people, the Irish people, Chinese people, like they got their kids into politics, law. They got like so when it comes down to they.
I think them Jewish people when their kids come out the womb, they be like, "You're going to be a politician."
Right. Now here's the thing. Now when it comes down to they, and last time I checked, now when you look at the statistics of America and whatnot, we have these black neighborhoods. You feel me? Like, who is you got the people who are the councils, you got the people who are the representatives, this, that, and the third. How many of them are people of color? How many of them are people of color represented?
Tyrone said we have to really come together and hold the politicians accountable. They have an agenda for everyone but black people.
Right on. So here's the thing. We hear, and last time I checked, like because my uncle ran for office, and I know other black people ran for office and they won. Like we have black politicians, right? We have black politicians, right?
We have a black woman sitting on the Supreme Court right now.
Exactly. So here's the thing. What if we start educating our kids and getting them involved more into politics? Therefore we could turn the tide of that. because here's the thing. Now, unless they're not going to let all of us in, which is a possibility because, quote unquote, they control the votes and this, that, and the third. But when we say things like come together and do what? Are we going to all stand in a circle and shit? Like, what are we going to come together and do? Like, and then are we going to start our own country here? Because that's not going to happen. So what are we going to do? Like, we have all of these weeds, like, come together. Like, right now we stay in the country where we know that we deal with bad weather every fucking year. You know what I'm saying? We have seasons that come around every year. So now is it up to the citizens? Because we all know that the politicians ain't going to do shit. So is it up to the citizens? How can we better ourselves and prepare for things like this? Like, can we, us as citizens, like say for here in Ohio, we know hurricanes are going to come around next year. So what if we start, as citizens, start working with our relatives and people that's down in these other states and set them up, you know what I'm saying? So that we have a whole year to prepare. So just in case if something bad happens down there, hey, we have a way for y'all to come up here and be cool. You know what I'm saying? We as citizens. So there's nothing stopping us from coming together as people. Like he said,
stopping us, unfortunately.
What's
It's
that?
called inflation. It's called depression. It's called, we want to be there for South Carolina. We want to be there for Florida. But right now, and it's sad to say, we want to be here for ourselves. Because we all still recovering from
so we can't come
COVID.
together.
Yeah, it's not that we can't, it's like the world makes it hard for
Right.
us to come together. Yeah.
So that's my question. What does coming together look like? What does that look like?
We haven't figured it out yet.
You feel me? Like black people have been saying we have to come together for how long? Everybody say that.
It's
Right? The
right.
whole country's like, hey, we all gotta come together as a country.
We haven't, as
All
a
the
country,
politicians
but
are saying
as
that's
a
the
country,
same crap.
and we're gonna be honest, as a country,
USA.
we haven't figured out what come together
What
looks
does
like.
that mean?
That's the thing.
What does that mean? What does it look like?
We don't, that's exactly, what does it mean? What does it look like?
It looked like us actually studying the law, studying our rights, and studying ourselves, and actually realizing it's not what it
But
lies.
they made those laws and shit, so we're gonna study the shit that they made and expect it to work in our favor, even though they made it.
Because it applies to them once you really start to study
So
yourself.
So how does it apply to
them.
us? It applies to them. So
If
how
it
does that apply to
applies
us?
them, then how can we come together?
We are the people.
So speaking of law,
We make the law.
what do you
So
think
do we
about
make
the
the law
law?
because time out? Because according to now we don't have these conversations. Now, you also say voting doesn't matter. So how do we make the laws and voting don't matter? So how do we make
laws?
So we can't. So as a black people, and I hate that we say that, we can't say voting don't matter because we put Obama into office. And if y'all want to believe voting don't matter, y'all crazy. We put Obama into
voting
office.
does matter?
We put Obama. Our youth put Obama into office.
I know too many politicians. Like I know too many people that are
All
in
our
office.
babies, our 18-year-olds, they came out, they voted, they put Obama into office. You cannot say our votes don't matter because Obama proved to us that they do.
And then when we didn't vote, what happened?
And then when we didn't vote, Trump won. Yeah, exactly.
And when
Exactly.
people start to vote again,
People didn't start to vote again.
No, they didn't. People pay attention to the agenda. We as black people, we saw that black
We
man
bought
on the
that.
ballot.
Like voting don't matter, so we stopped voting.
Yeah, we
And
saw
now
that
all the
black
white
man
folks
who
is getting in the
was
office every day, especially the racist ones. But then we say the system don't work. But then that's what I said. Like it's like we can't have it both ways. Either we gonna work. Because
it works very well if you know how to work the system.
So that electoral college 100% sure that they feel this with the Trump situation because they proved to us that the electoral college told us that our votes don't matter. Because it's supposed to be fair.
No, but everybody has to make it.
All right, so no.
Then it was made to cover those people that weren't able to.
No. Back then it was made because this is the reason why we have the electoral college. And this is what it is. It's because states and cities, they have different numbers and amounts of people. You know what I'm saying? So what they did was because if you have a segment of the population and they have like 100,000 people, but you have another city that has 1 million people. You know what I mean? What they did was with the electoral colleges, they set it up so where those 100,000 people's votes mean just as much as 1 million votes. What's happening? All right, the black politicians end up being a part of the establishment and don't end up doing what they sent them there to do. What they sent them there. Who? All right, so do we have an agenda and a plan that we gave them for them to go there with? And then here's another thing.
They go in there without an agenda.
He said once they get in there, so they tell us what sounds good. But once they walk through the door, it's a whole different story.
It's the
Even if
same.
they
I don't know.
have
There's a lot of
to
black
be
politicians that are doing good. Look in Atlanta. Atlanta's all black ran, and Atlanta's one of the dopest cities.
Because Atlanta supports Atlanta, there ain't somebody whispering in Atlanta ear saying you got to be different. Everything in Atlanta looks black. Everything in Atlanta moves black. So Atlanta is allowed to be black.
I agree with what he's saying.
I agree with what he's saying too.
He said
Because
that we're conditioned to be this way.
We
I
are.
really do
We
feel
are.
like that. I feel like we are conditioned.
we are
And
conditioned.
I feel like it's done while we were little.
Conditioned to be what way though?
But we
They
even
teach us in
conditioned.
school. They start us in school
We
by
even
making sure we can
conditioned
follow
to,
instructions. That's not. It don't have nothing to do with intelligence in school. It's all about how can you be controlled? Can you follow order? Can you stay structured? Can you walk
So
in a
if
single
we
file
take
line?
take the word history apart, what does it say?
It's story.
His story. That's what we learning. His story. We ain't learning our story. We learning his story. The story they want to teach us. Think about who they teach us about. They teach us about who's safe. They teach us about the joint of truth. They teach us about Harriet Tubman. They teach us about Martin Luther King.
Hold on. Who said Harriet Tubman was safe though?
But it's safe.
She wasn't safe.
He's safe.
Harriet Tubman was a
He's
gangster.
safer than the people who we don't know that's behind the scenes that was really pulling them guns and shooting. That's what she
Harriet
is.
Tubman really was pulling guns and shooting.
How often do they
But
teach us
look.
about Nat Turner?
Not, but I mean,
Exactly. How often do they teach about Huey P. Newton?
How
and
often
this
do
and
they
that?
Like, here's the
ever
thing,
taught
they
us
don't.
about Huey P. Newton?
They don't.
They teach you about Martin Luther King. If
They
they
teach you about-
they teach you about any black people. Martin Luther
They
King.
don't really teach about
Revolutionaries. They don't-
Because here's the thing, they teach you the safe parts about Martin Luther
We
King,
hear
but they
about
don't
Marcus
teach.
Garvey, but they ain't teaching us Marcus Garvey was revolution.
Right.
Bobby Seals was revolution.
But here's the thing,
Martin
though.
was revolution. They ain't teaching
Here's
us
the thing,
revolution.
but this is what black people
They
gotta
teaching
get.
us
Back to
peace.
Mansa
We can't expect them to want to, like, we can't expect them to teach us. How they gonna teach us about something they don't know? We saying they not teaching us about.
They know.
No, they don't know about Huey P. Newton, bro. That's why they're not teaching that shit. Them white folks don't know shit about Huey P. Newton. They know what they know, but they don't know.
White people know
Nah,
about
bro.
Huey P. Newton,
Nah.
but the white people set an agenda to break
But wait,
the
do
Black
they
Panther
even
Party.
teach black history?
They-
They
The white
don't
people, they
anymore.
said,
Yeah, but
the
here's the
white
thing,
people
they
introduced
broke-
black
they
into
broke-
our neighborhoods to break the Black Panther Party.
based off of what they knew, but they really didn't, because if they really knew the Black Panther Party, they would know that it was better for the community to have the Black
They
Panther
don't
Party.
want it to be
So they
better
really
for the
didn't know them.
community.
Do you think they gave?
They
They
listen.
didn't. I'm not saying that they
What was
didn't.
our
You got
community?
black men with
Exactly,
guns
they didn't.
standing up against
So
the police.
exactly.
They
So
don't
here's
want
the
it to
thing,
be
though.
better for the
To them, they
community.
really their ignorance leaves them to the point where they don't know
wasn't
shit about our people.
Yeah, no,
They
it was
know.
ignorance.
I'm not expecting.
But do you know what ignorance is?
Ignorance is bliss, and
It's
they're in their
knowing
book.
better and ignoring.
Exactly. So why are we expecting them? Like, they're not
Oh,
teaching us.
listen, y'all, 'cause I
Why are
know
we
this.
expecting them to teach us?
Listen, wait, because I ain't know this.
What?
He said, ask any child nowadays if they knew that Martin Luther King was a Republican. And you know what? If we gonna be honest, the Republicans was for the black people.
What's the
back in
phone
day.
number? Tim?
It was
The
independent.
Labor Machine Tool
Yeah,
Hotline
like, yeah, black
is
people.
216-259-2062. It's scrolling on the
black
bottom of the
people-
screen.
black people
Everybody
were
write it
Republican.
in. Tell me again.
But why ain't black people Republican now?
Who wants
I don't feel about all right, cool. Black
262.
people were Republican back in the 60s. Why aren't black people Republicans now?
Because most of our peers are in the school system.
I mean,
Right. How come? So how come all the white Republicans just ain't stay Democrat?
Because they control a whole other sector
So if-
from the other
so-
side.
If we being honest, it really switched. Back in the days, the Republicans were for black people, and the Democrats was for white
But
people.
now,
Now
Democrats
the
is what
roles
we
have
being told
changed.
we should be voting for.
So when people
Because
say,
they giving
people
us
get offended when they
free
say
aid and
Martin Luther
stuff.
King was a Republican, but back in the day when Martin Luther King was a Republican, that's because Republicans were for the change that bettered black people.
Yeah, but here's the thing. I think it just goes to like, all right, so if there was more black Republicans, you would see more black Republicans. But now that you see more black Democrats, we gonna vote for our people. So yeah, back then when our black leaders were Republicans, we went the
It's
Republican
going to
route.
voicemail to me.
Now that our black leaders, quote unquote, and in the Democrat Party, you got Arabic, you got Spanish, you got black, you got LGBTQ, you got all these different groups.
But look,
Black people
black
switching
people need to
Democrats
realize that
after
they are
both
not
parties
black
switched
people. Black is a political status.
Black is a color in a crayon box.
I was just about to say.
Same thing as white.
Exactly.
Blanco.
And that's why it's not about race.
Yeah.
They want us
Black
to think
is not
it
a
is.
race.
So we fighting for black lives, but black lives really don't matter.
Black
in a
lives
legal-
gotta matter
in a
to black
legal
people
sense.
first.
But we
So if black people lives don't
we
matter
have
in
to
a legal
realize
sense,
that we are not black. Black is not a nationality. That is not a culture.
We
That is just
charging the
something that
phone,
is
Dominique, and then we
politically
got
put
to
on
go.
there for you to identify as, so that you can be marketed as a corporation, so that they can have control over you, because the United States,
So, I mean,
is a corporation.
You know,
The only
so
reason they have power
so you
over
know
you
how
because of how
Wall
you
Street
sign on the
invests
paper.
into
yeah, on the
all
paper they
them
got
different.
African American though.
No, but listen,
That's still
so how
another
Wall
political
Street
status.
invests into different
So what are we?
corporations
We're
and
natives
programs
to
and make
whatever
money
land
off
we
it.
come from.
Wall Street invests into black people. And if y'all don't believe that, y'all crazy.
Wall Street invests into people as a
Period.
commodity.
And
Yeah,
so,
we're all business,
we
Yeah.
quote
are
unquote.
business. That's why they gave us a social security.
We just happen to
number.
have a little
So
bit more
once
worth
so once
of-
again though, with all of this information that we quote unquote know, and the government do this and this, that, and the third, how are we going to help people? Like, say, because one day, say for instance, if Ohio gets hit with a national disaster, how is that going to help us?
What do you mean?
We still in a learning phase. We gonna be honest. We still trying to figure it out.
Right.
We are in the age of information.
We
so
are in the age of information. Well, and information is knowledge. But what are we doing with that information?
it's
So the natural
okay,
disaster is going to keep on
We
happening,
not
right?
sharing that
And here's the thing,
information,
like, I don't
what
know
are we
about y'all,
doing?
but I care about people in Florida. I care about
I got
people
family in
because here's
Florida.
what happens though.
My
Because when
cousin
those people
started
get
Florida. My
displaced,
sister in Florida.
when
My
those people ain't got
stepmother
no
in
place
Florida.
to stay,
My
they gotta
nieces and nephews
they're gonna
in
find
Florida.
some place
I
to
care
stay.
about Florida.
You feel me? Now I don't know about anybody, but if anybody remember what happened when all them people
It's because it's charging, Dominique.
what happened when all those people left New Orleans back in the day and they went to those different cities?
It's
Hold on,
open.
say
It's
it
up.
again.
What happened with all those people when they went to different cities when they left out of New Orleans? Did y'all hear about the stuff that was going on in Houston when those people went when they came out?
Yeah, we know.
Did you hear? Did y'all know about what was going on in Cleveland when people from New Orleans came out here?
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so we
So people was coming here getting killed.
yeah. So that's what
Call her
I'm
here
saying.
on the Gerber Machine
That's
into a
what I say,
hotline.
and that goes back to my point.
We got
We
a
need
caller
to-
on the phone.
There's Dominique.
What's up, Dom?
You got
What's up? What's up? This is the topic. I am. This is my topic. I'm excited.
Right on. What's the topic?
Yeah. So.
Don't do that.
Hold on.
Don't do her like that.
Hold on. No, I just
Don't
want to
do
know.
her
She
like
said
that.
this is her topic. I just want to
Don't
know.
do her like
Listen,
that.
man, don't do
Don't do her like
No,
that.
because we done bounced around, so I
No,
just want to make sure that
wait.
I want to make sure that we're sticking to the actual topic because we done bounced around a lot. So what is this? So what topic? What topic are you chiming in on? I'm
The
not.
topic I'm chiming in on is the political status and the black and white, all that issue. First off, I want to start off by saying the United States that we know is not a country; it's a corporation, it's a business.
Right. No. I
Let's
don't
start
mean to
that
cut
off
you
right
off. No, I just want to make sure that we all keep it on task here because this is all in relative to about like and knowing that we're all here in the same country, we all get hit by natural disasters and things of that nature.
Mm-hmm.
How is this information that's going to be able to help our brother men? Because here's the thing: we got black people in Florida, we got black people in South Carolina that's going to need help. So how is this information designed where we can help our people in times of need?
It kind of touches a little bit back on what Deli was saying as far as us knowing our rights and things like that. It's a lot of information out there that can actually help our people, but because our people don't really read and don't know, it doesn't benefit us.
If you want to have some information from black people, put it in a book.
Put it in a book. They've been telling us this, but we haven't been paying attention until now. Now this new generation is starting to wake up. Well, I shouldn't say new generation, but our generation is starting to wake up and realize that. Yes. And a lot of the information is coming out about all of this, and people are starting to become more conscious and aware of that.
And black people not afraid to speak up no more.
That's true. And then, like, even the schools don't really get you prepared for life. They really don't. They get you prepared for work. That's what that comes down to. Like, we need to be doing these safety. We need to be having like safety drills in our homes and things like that. We're talking about getting ready for these natural disasters. We know natural disasters come. It's like they can come at any day. So why are we not prepared? Why are we not prepared?
So y'all
We
remember
know
in
that
school
hurricanes
how they
happen.
used to teach us the drills for the hurricanes and
When I was in Alabama, we did tornado drills like every month.
Tornado drills every month.
How are you doing it at home? That's the difference.
Oh, we did it. We did it at our house too.
That's the difference.
But
here's the thing: what they teaching us is they teaching us to stay. They're not teaching us that
it's okay to pick up and leave. And that's where our people is right now. We stuck in the state part.
And so we have to figure out, because here's the thing, and this is where the problem lies. They don't know what to do once they pack up and leave. So that's why I say,
we as other cities have to be open to embracing them and letting them know you leave, we got you.
So therefore, go back to my brother said earlier, we have to come together. So we have to figure out what that looked like, right? So therefore, if we know that these natural disasters, this goes back to my point. And we know that these natural disasters happen every motherfucking year. You know what I'm saying? No, because it's like it came back full circle to what the fuck I was talking about in the first place. You know what I'm saying? And we know that this shit happens every year, and we also know whether it's the government doing it or whatever the fuck, we know that something is going on out there that just ain't natural, right? Can we all agree on that?
Yeah.
Whether the government doing it, whether it's climate change, the shit ain't natural. The shit ain't fucking normal when you got a damn storm every fucking year coming around that's killing millions of people, thousands of people. You know what I'm saying? So why don't we come up with a comprehensive plan and come together as a people, you know what I'm saying, and figure out, okay, so if something happens in New Orleans, you know what I'm saying? And if we know these laws, like with this, go back to my man Deli point is, so how do we use that stuff in order to help our people if stuff like this happens? You know what I'm saying? Teach them what though? What are we teaching them? Are we teaching them how to hide during a hurricane? Or
we're teaching them the laws of the land.
Tyrone said most of us are working so much that we don't have time to teach our kids for real so much. That's why, because I'm gonna be honest with you. I am most of us. My kids are learning from YouTube because I'm at work.
Because we don't know if we actually knew that we ain't even really supposed to be paying for shit, there's a lot of shit out here that we don't have to actually pay for. It's a lot of shit out here that we don't even have to be paying for. You would be able to actually stay at home and raise your kids and teach them these values that they actually need to learn. That's actually going to be beneficial to their life. So then you're building your community, because if you got everybody at home with their kids in our communities, our indigenous communities,
our indigenous community is taught that we have to go out and work.
Y'all know how much. So y'all know how much society gonna have to change, right? So if everybody, because think about it like this: we got people that work at hospitals, you got firefighters, I see, like, we work at the hospital, bro. We see thousands of nurses there. You got schools, you got. Wait. I'm talking about, you got people that work at grocery stores, you got people that work at department stores. So if everybody's at home educating their kids, what's getting done? Like where you get it?
So if you educated enough,
you
making your own home remedy.
Back in the days,
making your own food, you growing your own food.
Grocery stores. Back in the days, they didn't have hospitals. Everything was
back in the days, it wasn't as many people. So what I'm saying, so what I'm saying, all right, wait.
We got so many people now.
Exactly. Back in the days, it was.
So wait. So
people die and at the same rate.
I'm sorry. We had 8 billion people. It's not 8 billion people on the planet 100 years ago.
People die every day. People are born every day.
Me, you, and T. I know for a fact we were around the same age. We was growing up. Grandma and grandpa wasn't taking us to no hospital. When we got sick, we was getting cod liver oil, that mineral oil, that Pepto-Bismol. We was getting that Vicks rub put on our chest.
Yeah, we was doing that for common colds and flus. But if you get cancer, you know what I'm saying? It's easy to fight the flu.
Now look at what they making you do for a common flu.
We would never hear.
I'm doing the same shit I was doing then.
No, you wearing a mask, you quarantining.
So do we think that COVID is the common flu? Because the common flu wasn't killing people in 2 weeks. My cousin had the flu before he was dead after he got COVID. So you telling me that the same flu that
H1N1, which is a version of the flu, was killing people. H1N2, which is a version of the flu, was killing people. The bird flu was killing people. At some point, every infection, every viral infection we have was killing people at some point.
So we're gonna do heart surgery at the house? Is that what we're saying?
Can I talk real quick?
We want to talk real quick. We give you the stage.
Okay, so basically, if you really know what the fuck is really going on, they are putting all of this fucked up shit in the food, and the water, and the medications that you are taking. People back in the day, our great grandparents was living to fucking 90, 100 years old. You know why? Because they grew their own food. They had God put all of this shit here for us to cure everything. There is literally a cure for everything. You just have to heal your body.
The cure is
that
in
is
the earth,
difference.
in the environment.
Yes, it's literally the earth. It's all in the earth.
Scientists are
There's a cure
finding
for
the
everything.
meds that we need. Those are coming from herbs.
Yeah, they just synthesize them.
They just synthesize them. Let's be honest. They are
Mucus is the only
synthesizing herbs.
disease that is linked to all of diseases. It's mucus.
It's
and
mucus.
where is the mucus
Dr.
coming from? The
Sebi,
food.
I'm not
that
talking
they
about
are
disease.
putting into
I'm not talking about
the
just
stuff that
disease.
they're putting into our
I'm
food
not
and
talking
water.
about just disease because people suffer from other things than just diseases.
Why would
you know
you
what I'm
need
saying?
heart surgery?
But
You
listen,
full of heart surgery.
Wait. Let me finish. I'm just not talking about that too.
But you brought up specifically,
Wait.
are you going to
I
do
brought
heart
up
surgery
as
home?
as an example because we see it. We at the hospital every single day, right? So you got people up there with mental defects. You got people up there that got just blood diseases. You know what I'm saying? You got people.
Because of it's because of the food and the
So,
environment.
we
It's
gonna
because
be
of everything that they're doing.
Mental health diseases came from what we put into our bodies.
People been going through mental health for centuries.
What we
It
put into
literally
our-
came from what we put into our bodies. She's right.
So y'all think people had mental issues 200 years ago? A million years ago?
You know what?
1,000?
200 years ago, a million years ago.
You know what lead poisoning do to your
They fuck you up.
Exactly.
Yes.
That's just lead, and
Lead
they
poisoning
use
is
that
the
to paint
leading
houses.
cause
Exactly.
of mental health
So that's what I'm saying. Like
diseases.
it's
And
all
as
about what you
kids,
surround
let's
yourself
think about
with
how
and
many
what
black people
what your
was
body is absorbing.
exposed to lead poisoning.
I can honestly attest to that. I had mental illness. I don't suffer from that shit no more. You know why? Because I changed my fucking diet.
Facts.
I'm actually growing my own food in my own house. I'm teaching my children when they get of age to how to grow their own food. And it made me realize something too. My great grandmother always had a remedy for anything, any issue we had.
Shout out
And
for the
she didn't give me
grandmas, the
medication.
grandmas.
She gave me herbs. She gave
Right
me
up.
food.
And cool. And
she
and back
had
in the
her
day
own garden
too.
in her background. This is my great grandmother.
So
But
peep
what
this
they
though. Back
did
in the day, we
was-
still had doctors in our villages in Africa.
We did.
We still. So let's not.
But
Wait.
the
But
doctors that we have right now,
because they
that's
knew.
the difference.
Wait. Because
That is the difference.
Right. The reason why is because now here's the thing: we do educate ourselves at home. Like you could take care of the flu at the house. You could take care of the cold at the house. You could take care of pink eye at the house.
Vitamin
There's
C
a lot of
take care
things
of
you can take care of
everything,
at the house, but there are certain things that you have to go with somebody with a little bit more experience for. It's been like that. Like we did that in Africa.
But think about even in Africa, our doctors that was at home was still using herbs. They was synthesizing
Yes,
herbs.
but
That's what
and the
they
reason
do.
why they
you
had
can
it
literally get the knowledge.
because-
The knowledge is out there, so you don't necessarily need to go to a doctor to heal shit. For
Because
real.
think about it, they send a doctor to school for their
Doctors-
whole life,
listen,
basically.
we can't even call doctors
So
doctors no more.
They just basically
Doctors
hold
are
up.
called practitioners now.
Look,
They're not called
because
doctors.
it's a practice. Because it's a practice.
And why are they called
They're
practitioners?
called
It's not
practitioners
even a
because they're
guaranteed
practicing on
thing
us.
that they can
They're not
even
called doctors no more.
hold themselves liable to 100% standard, but because of what they're doing,
Right.
they're synthesizing natural herbs and remedies and trying to make their version of it to the
Exactly.
point where you gotta cut you and they're gonna
We
market
are,
it to you
we
so
are
that you feel like
literally
you
they're
need them.
live rats and
Right.
monkeys.
So here's the
period.
thing. So here's the thing. Now, and understanding that, which is very true. Now we also have where you got. So what happens? So what about the older people when they're not able to remedy themselves? Where are they supposed to go to?
Where they're not.
So
What-
back in the days when the older people when they wouldn't remedy this stuff, we
Like
had,
if they're not
we
the
had,
old, the
we had each other. We had
right or somebody in the village they can go to, right?
Listen, I promise you, if we went back to the old days, we went back to the villages, we went back to curing ourselves and building ourselves and growing our own food, black people would have more life. I promise you that.
Oh yeah, no doubt. Now here's the thing. Now and that's totally agreed. Now we all live in pretty much a city, right? You know,
And we not city people, let's be honest. Black people is from the country. We're country born, country bred. We ain't did a commercial break in over an hour and a half.
oh yeah, we got sponsors, man. Thank you for that. Where's our sponsor list?
We got
Okay.
30 minutes left in the show. Now they want to do.
I'm about to read all the sponsors.
Listen, this topic was amazing. Like we got crowd participation. We love y'all. Y'all called in on this.
I got the sponsor list here. This show is brought to you by
We love y'all.
Detroit
Dominique, we in
Auto
for every
Parts.
show.
It's
The
the official
love you,
auto
girl.
parts store of Red Line Radio and home of our original studio. They have 2 convenient locations. East side, call 216-531-7373 or call the west side location, 216-398-7373. Mention Redline Radio and receive 10% off on your purchase. Also, Growing Wings Adult Services is the official sponsor of the state-of-the-art Studio 2. Growing Wings Adult Services has over 7 years of experience taking care of adults with disabilities. For more information, call Lisa at 234-334-7547. And also, our show is also, I just had to catch a breath. It's brought to you by Dynatech. We stand behind our products with a variety of customer service that keeps our customers satisfied and earns us the ranking of the best in the industry. Dynatech, contact Dynatech today. 161 Reeser Court, Elyria, Ohio, 44035. Call 1-800-446-9001. Sales at Dynatech or visit their website at dynatech.com.
Our sponsor was about to chime in real quick, like, hey. So we got time for what? One more topic? What we doing? Deli?
We got one more topic for the night. We can talk the updates on the Elijah McClain case. We can talk the Jeffrey Dahmer story. We can talk love and life. So we'll take a vote. So
we got Deli gonna do what? 20 minutes? We can do 20 minutes. So yeah, we got 10 minutes. Let's talk Jeffrey Dahmer for 10 minutes.
All right, the Jeffrey Dahmer story. Yeah. I mean, how many people have watched it?
I've watched it. It is disturbing. If you have not watched it, do not watch it. It is disturbing. I threw up on the first episode.
This is like the 5th Jeffrey Dahmer movie they done made.
This one is different. This one, compared to the other ones, this one is different on every level. This one goes into detail. I mean, this showing him fucking putting a thought to people's head and pouring accident in people's head. This one is different.
And then it's different too because they show the victims living their life before they meet Jeffrey Dahmer. So it's kind of like
how he went to the people living their best life, not knowing that they about to live their last moment of life.
Wow. I watch a lot of that. That's my thing.
I mean, I'm writing the murder
Talk to the mic.
right
Talk to the
now.
mic.
Talk to the mic. Talk to the mic.
Talk to the mic.
That's what my
You was doing a lot of hand bouncing.
I was thinking of hand bouncing.
She's still trying to bring some attention to the guy that just said like that. Okay.
Hey, that girl from across the street about to come running through here. Like, where's she at?
It's too.
But yeah, all right. So you watch Court TV.
I watch.
But this is totally different from Court TV.
I don't want. I don't play, so it's okay. But I watch a lot of that stuff.
Why? What's the fascination with it?
I go into law.
Right.
I'm criminal law.
So I can understand yours.
So, and it's I know a lot of people that watch that type of stuff. But I watch a lot of people. I know a lot of people that watch it, but me personally, I like what it's first of all,
we gotta cut the call, baby. She's screaming. We gotta cut it.
Listen, we cool. Baby is expressing herself.
She gonna have her time, but it ain't there yet.
So you're just interested in the mind of a crazy motherfucker.
It's not that I'm interested in the mind of a crazy person. This is stuff that
You just run across.
You run across it.
But
it's excitement stuff. I don't look at excitement. I just feel like it's knowledge. And it's interesting how a person thinks and the type of things that they go through.
It's interesting because we can learn from it.
But no, it ain't really.
You can though. You can catch the sound of the crazy motherfucker now.
But not only that, they teach you everything that they wouldn't even know to make sure you don't do the wrong stuff.
I watch Fatal Attraction because I want to learn what to stay away from.
I'm sorry. I don't see how anybody. What I like from that.
I don't watch it because it's. I'm trying to learn something. I just feel like it's very intriguing.
You know what I saw in that movie in the Jeffrey Dahmer story? A whole lot of white privilege.
You might be crazy for real.
That's the actual thing that occurred.
You might be crazy for real.
No, but I'm just saying that's the actual thing that occurred. They're telling facts and they're making up a story and glorifying it and making it. I read the article about it. They make it. Everybody wants to.
Have you saw the movie?
Yeah.
I have seen it. I've seen
so
it.
Here's what they. So
I've seen the old.
No, I saw it. Now let me tell you something.
So here's why they want to boycott it because they glorified the fact of the fans he had.
Right.
And they made it seem like it was okay for him to have fans that wrote him letters that sent him money that made it okay for him to done what he did. That's why a lot of people are offended by the Jeffrey
But
Dahmer
here's
movie.
one thing about the Jeffrey Dahmer movie that was able, that is so light to me that, I mean, it's something that I already known, but for a lot of people that might not have known how much white privilege played into allowing him to commit those crimes, because there's no way, I'm sorry, if I ran into a motherfucker like that, I'm like, he's a serial killer. Like, I'm profiling that mother. How could you not meet him and not know he's a crazy mother? But how the cops treated him, yeah,
They tried to kill me, and they didn't want to do.
Look, those cops had that kid. They could have saved that kid's life. And they went up into his crib. They smelled the dead body in there. And he was just like, it's a dead body.
Even the last time when a black dude took him back to the crib, look how long it took before they arrested him. Look how much evidence he had to see. He smelled the smell.
His father let him get
He
this.
saw the blood on the. He saw the hammer.
Yep.
It wasn't until he seen the people have a dead body. All before that, Jeffrey Dahmer was still free to walk out that door. That's exactly when he realized that this is evidence that I can't ignore. I can ignore the hammer. I can clean up the blood. I can ignore the spirit. These pictures ain't going nowhere. These pictures of people who got missing signs up everywhere. These pictures of mamas who's speaking out in the public. So that is the only thing that made them cops move.
Them cops, they killed Tamir Rice real quick. Then it's just like, who ain't killing nobody, and there was no suspicion of him killing anybody. But Jeffrey Dahmer, literally, they had pulled that man over with bodies in his, like he had bodies in the trash bag. Oh, I was just cutting my lawn. Like what? Like really? Like,
I think when it comes to serial killers, like I said, those are high profile.
But they don't know. You don't know what's a high profile case.
Jeffrey Dahmer had them bodies in his.
Because
how you don't?
Those type of cases could sway elections. Those type of cases can.
It's only high profile once they're arrested, but that ain't gonna stop a motherfucker from arresting somebody who killed somebody.
If you the politician that's running and he got also the technicality while you was running.
Listen,
I'm talking about when the cop pulls up on him. Like, what does that got to do in an election when the cop pulling over a dude with a dead body smell?
Nick made a good point. Y'all missed. Anthony Sowell had all the bodies. We all, that was on the period. We all smelled that smell. We all attributed to that little meat factory or whatever it was that was right next to it.
Smart like that.
We attributed to that, and we went on about our good old business.
Did anybody report anything?
No,
with Anthony Sowell.
Never.
Exactly. That's why he was able to do it for so
Never.
long.
No wonder we had intervention.
Most people chalk it up to that butcher shop. We're gonna be honest.
We're gonna chalk it up to the what?
We chalk it up to that butcher shop.
To the butcher shop.
Yeah.
Say that again.
Well, you got a good cover story.
Yeah.
I mean,
And
most
you
people
told
don't
them
believe
that
it.
the
Most people are
story.
naive to the fact that somebody could really
And
do it.
What?
She ran butt naked running down the street.
So did Jeffrey Dahmer. But Jeffrey Dahmer did the same thing Anthony Sowell did. They found a neighborhood where the police wasn't going to care. That's
why I say
found victims.
That's why I say racism and white privilege played a role into Jeffrey Dahmer
Not
killing
even
those
racism
people.
and white privilege. Jeffrey Dahmer found gay black males. Back in that time, the police didn't care.
That's racism. They're gay and black. That's racism.
Anthony Sowell found 4 women addicted to drugs that people won't care about. People wouldn't miss if they love because they're gonna
They go after people that no one would care about or miss. So it's like it's strategic. A huge amount of missing people of that
Look how many people Anthony Sowell and Jeffrey Dahmer had about the same number of deaths.
17.
Yeah, Anthony Sowell had what, 18?
But I think Anthony Sowell had a little bit more than that. 11. It could have been more. Ain't no telling how much barbecue he was serving.
I mean, well, okay.
He probably moved to that place without a meat factory on purpose.
But you know what's crazy though? Think about how many people you walk by every single day. Think about how many people you see every single day. You know the odds of one of them being a serial killer is actually fucking high.
And that's the scary part.
That's the scary part.
That's the scary part.
Like, you know, it's
like, I'm not gonna lie. My little cousin auntie lived on the pier, y'all. I say we was on the pier all the time, and never once did I think across the street is a house with some dead bodies in it. I spent my summers at Wood Hill Park. Every day I think 2 streets over, it's some dead bodies over there.
Hey, you know what's crazy? Hey, you know what's crazy? You know what's crazy? When you see two people when you see a man and a woman arguing, right? What do you like? What is the thing now when you see a man and a woman? Say that business, right? Now, what the fuck happens now? Just say for instance, you stayed out of that business, and it turned out that wasn't a couple arguing. That was a dude trying to just fucking. He was a serial killer. He was just.
Part of society has trained us to say that because there's been times when men have jumped in and they got killed. There's been times when you jump in and that woman take that her man side.
So you just don't know what the fuck. So it's better to just let them might die than step in.
Because sometimes you gotta be like, and it's sad, but sometimes you gotta be like, it's gonna be my life or it's gonna be their life.
So we all out here in the survival of the fittest.
And I hate to say that, we as women, we run it toxic. You might be jumping in and put your life on the line to save that woman. That woman going right back to that man.
And it's crazy. So serial killers, like really, what helps serial killers like get away with their crimes is society. They use society, they use all of the proclivities and the perversions of society in their benefit. They use the law to their benefit. They use the
environment.
They use the environment, the statistics, the money, the goddamn demographic.
Serial killer don't become a serial killer overnight. They sit back, they strategize, they think it through, they do research. They know Jeffrey Dahmer moved to the neighborhood that he needed to move to in order to make his stuff happen.
If anybody watches that video, he had a couple of them that got away with drug.
His first 2 victims were white boys.
His first 2 victims was white boys. He learned as he
was killing people in his grandma's house. This is another thing. He just wasn't killing people in the poor black neighborhood. He was killing people in his grandma's house and her basement.
Here's the thing. His grandma pissed me off because his grandma.
His father too. His father smelled some blood. Was like, what is this?
His grandma was
killing raccoons.
She saved somebody. She had the opportunity to turn him into jail after she saved that boy. And she told the lie. She stuck with the lie. Knowing that it was a lie, she backed the lie.
This brings up a question. Now, if your child was dating and they had a chance to get arrested, turn your child in?
You mean if my child was a
if my son was a serial killer?
Yeah.
Yeah, hell yeah. I won't, actually, I'm gonna be real with you. If I found out my kid was a serial killer, I'll put him down myself. I ain't gonna lie. Because here's the thing, I love my I would I would put him down. I would put him down myself. You know what I'm saying? Like straight up, like. You ain't my son, dog.
Hold on. Wait a minute. Hold on. Hold on. But wait a minute. Why you get scared? You a serial killer, my nigga?
Yeah, that's what I'm really thinking. Like, what? I mean, what you worried about? You serial killer? Gangster? Candy man? The fuck?
Why you sitting over
The real question is, Brandon,
hey, Nick do be showing up here late though. Nick be like, yeah, I just got off of work. He got prepared. Hey, sorry I'm late. Hey,
we get in and out real fast. The rest of us be hanging around here.
Right.
I gotta go.
Hey, I need to get on the radio station, y'all. I need my alibi. Hey, I'm here. I'm on camera, Key. I'm on camera.
Don't say nothing about that stuff.
Hey, man. Hey, you go with Nick Nicholas like, hey, this is old pizza. That's just old meat. I just got old meat under my seat. That's it. Yeah, I hit a deer and it just smells like deer. Deer all over my car because I hit a deer. Yeah.
It's time for Denny's and Loving Life.
It's time for So
I have no idea.
So now this is OJ's favorite time because I know OJ Simpson gonna love this show because we just finished talking about murder. Now we about to talk about love. So shout out to OJ Simpson.
How did you put them two together? I don't even understand.
How we just finished talking about murder and we're about to talk about love. Last time I checked, that's OJ Simpson.
I'm not seeing a comparison, but
OJ stabbed and serial killer. He killed like 2 people. He was on the way to being a serial killer.
He was acquitted.
Allegedly,
and he was acquitted.
Man, he was acquitted. That shit.
If the glass does not.
No, because if you would have did it,
The real killer.
Yeah.
OJ did that shit. Hey, OJ like, oh, swear. OJ sitting back listening to they found a real killer.
When they had the documentary come out,
Yeah, they
they was like,
did.
this is the real killer. They was sitting back like,
that
these
shit with
fools.
Charlie Murphy.
Look at the real killer. Like, all right, so look like, I'll do it. Yo, this is yeah, Delio.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is that time of the hour for us to get close and personal with our love life with the one and only Mr. Sexy Belly.
All right.
I'm back. How many people on the phone? She could have gave that intro.
She's still on the phone?
Yes, y'all could have gave that intro.
Y'all could have gave it together.
Yeah, we could have done. We're gonna come up with that intro next week together. We got this.
Next week is gonna be a cruise.
Wait a minute. Pause.
Whoa, now let's just
Pause.
keep going. Yeah, we can all let that happen. Yeah.
Hey, listen, we can definitely do Dominique to the studio. We was looking
We
for
got
that
to.
person.
So when she, you know what I'm saying? All right, so top of the day. You know what I mean. You know what I mean.
You know your daughter can.
Wait, hold on. What did you just hear? Are we on a delay?
We were supposed to go with it. We were supposed to
It's
go
all
past
good.
it.
Yeah, we just gonna keep it rolling. All right, so I had a lot of topics for it.
We
I
definitely got
want to
like
address this one. I feel like especially accountability. So that's on both ends. That's male, female. Like your last relationship, do you tell the person that you with now all the good things that you did and all the bad stuff that they did, or are you telling the whole story? Are you giving them the real you?
I keep it real.
I want you to know.
I told him from the first day.
She said, Dominique said she told you the first day. Facts.
That's who made him marry me, for real.
Facts. Okay, let's
Now, some people, now here's the thing. There's some people that just don't want to know, just don't give a fuck. Like,
Well, I don't think and then people say that they like you don't put the shit everything the fuck. That's not productive.
right.
Well, I get it where they say the sex partners are almost care to know your sex partner. We had that conversation earlier. Right. But as far as I want to know, yes, what happened, reason why your last relationship didn't last. Because if your last relationship didn't last because you was beating the hell out of this bitch, don't come talk to me.
Don't come talking to me about she wasn't listening.
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep it real with you. I was kicking her ass every day. Look, once she told me, she said I had a little dick.
No, you never. You said you never hit
She
me.
said she'd never say that to me.
Okay.
So when it comes down to accountability, Belly, let me ask you this, right? Now,
You actually did it. You did it like you was just.
all right, now let me ask you this, Bill. Now, this is in your opinion, love guru. You know what I mean? Do you think that men or who you think shows more accountability, men or women? Who shows more accountability when it comes down to our relationships fail? Men or women? Yeah, then we go around the table.
I can only say from what I've witnessed. So I can't say on the majority scale.
Fair enough.
For everybody. But
Fair
from
enough.
what I've witnessed.
Right. From what you witnessed.
It's been more men that are willing to accept they, you know, fought in the relationship.
Really, we was friends.
The women.
And went, but hold on, like I said,
That's his
only
own.
from what I observed.
That's his views from the six.
I've seen
Shout
so
out
many
Drake.
women that are like women that I know that
No,
I've
you know,
never messed
I'm
with
rock you,
that.
'cause you right though. I'm joking, but you right though.
But look, yeah, like I never messed with them, but they sit here and tell me, you know, like yeah, that nigga wasn't shit. But I'm sitting here knowing some shit that she didn't already told me prior to them breaking up.
We as women have a very big issue with taking accountability for.
Because if you leave it up to women, most of y'all gonna say that it's all dudes that ain't shit. We hear that all the time.
I'm saying that. Listen,
I was gonna ask.
I'm crazy. You push me there, we can go. I'm like, I'm with the shit.
Swear, I had no idea. You don't seem like that at all.
You know what I'm saying?
I feel like females that take accountability when it's best for them.
And
When it's beneficial.
When the story looks good.
And accountability also take like taking account.
Whenever they feel like
Go ahead, Don.
they
We
should
can hear
get
you.
into it, you know, it's
Okay, I was gonna say, and also taking accountability also looks like you accepting the fact that you allow somebody to do you wrong at the same time as
That
well.
part.
Mm.
Facts. Now that's the problem that
a
she
lot
said.
of
Taking
people-
accountability
It's
means
like,
that
okay,
you
yeah, he
also
beat your
allow
ass
a
10
person to
times,
do what
but you
to
could
take
have
you through
walked
what
away
you
the
did.
first time he beat
And
your
listen,
ass, but
listen,
you
I
kept
tell people
staying.
that all the time, not to cut you off, Dominique. I was in an abusive relationship for 4 years, and people be like,
Same.
"I'm so glad you got out of there." And I'd be like, "No, I didn't get out of that. He got arrested." I did
So you
not
think
walk.
if you would have never got
If he never would have got arrested, I never would have walked away from that relationship. And I'm
Wow.
honest enough to say that. I did not get out of that relationship. Don't give me credit. I did not walk away. He went to jail.
Wow.
Facts.
That's hey, that is keep it. Look, I ain't gonna look. Can you hit that a pause button one time?
We need the horn.
Yeah, because that was some real shit. That was some real shit to say.
And I don't tell people. People be like, you need to tell your survivor story. I'm not. It's not a survivor story because
I mean, you survived.
I survived it. I did. But
Whether
would
it
I
was your
have? Would I
choice to or
have?
not.
If he hadn't went to jail,
How
would
did
I
it-
have survived it? It's
How
the
did
question.
the police come? Did you call them or what they called?
True story. I was working and I had left my wallet at home, and he wanted to be proactive and go get my wallet because he just couldn't wait for me to get off of work. So we was going to the grocery store. My gun was in the car. So he wasn't allowed to be around a gun. He already had an RO.
So he got pulled over.
He got pulled over. COVID hit. He got away with it for a long time. They finally COVID started to let up. They put him in the court. And between that time, y'all know how COVID was. A lot of domestic violence situations happened in between that time, and the police got called a lot of times. And the judge was just like, "Hey, yeah, I can forgive you for the gun, but I see these pictures and yeah, no, I can't."
So did you call the police on him?
I definitely did.
So
No,
you
I'm not gonna
did
say I
get to
did.
say.
My mother called the police. To be honest.
All right, so let me ask you a question. If he was, say for instance, if he got out of jail tomorrow, he wanted to get back with you.
He's
would you
out
get
of
back?
jail.
Oh,
He
would you
lives
get
in
back?
Atlanta.
Oh,
He's actually commented on the show many times. I tell you.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. So if he came back up here to Cleveland, you want to get back with him?
Nope.
Well, not well. You survived. You decided. Yeah.
So jail. He was in jail for 6 months. Jail. In them 6 months, I found to strength to say no, and it was the most scariest. I would tell y'all he was, and we probably listened to the show. We won't just deal with it. 2 weeks ago, he moved to Atlanta. That was the first time I felt free in my life. Even though we've been separated for a year now, 2 years. 2 weeks ago, I was like, I am free. Because even in them 2 years, I still lived in fear.
Sound like Harriet Tubman for real.
So let me ask you this: was there any warning signs that showed that he was abusive before he was like before y'all was in a serious relationship?
No, so I'm not gonna even lie. We went serious real fast.
Oh, so it was you didn't even have time to see red flags before.
Nope.
So
So he
you
was
didn't
my.
take
I'm
the
not
time
gonna
to
even lie.
get
He
to
was
know
my
him.
kid's barber. The barber. I was in a relationship when we met. My relationship didn't last. He hit me up like, "Hey, I see you put a poster that you're single. Why don't you bring the kids for a haircut?" And I'm like, I know where you're going with this, but okay, cool. I actually had a date that night that I took my kids for. He's like, "Why don't you cancel your date?" And like, chill with me, and then we just went from there, and we moved real fast.
Somewhere that date niggas like motherfucker.
In the beginning, it was great. I'm not gonna lie. In the beginning, there was no time. Me and my mom was actually talking about this earlier.
How long was the beginning? Like a couple weeks?
No,
Months. Okay.
it was like, and me and my mom was talking about it early because
he smoothed his way in. He got close with my family. He got close with my kids. It was all laughter. He was paying bills. He was doing all that. And it was like, oh my God, this is a nice guy. And the minute he proposed, it was like, oh, got her ass. It's over.
So he just started going off for no reason at that point. Like, I mean, I'm saying that it was just
the
like,
first incident was he was going out with his brothers and his phone was broke, so he wanted my phone. And I was just like, why you want my phone? So he's like, I need the keys to your car and I need your phone. Why do you need the keys to my car and my phone for you to go out with your brothers? And that turned into, I ain't gonna even go into that turned into everything.
Wow.
I ain't gonna say I was younger. I'm not gonna. I don't even know. It was 2018. I'm not gonna try.
It didn't really click. You see what the school talks about. I feel like I felt like I think I grew up being raised with both my people, so I just thought that was something I was supposed to do. I couldn't stick through a lot of stuff, they went through a lot of stuff. So I think I was raised with that mentality, like, you know what, you gonna stick it through. I think it really was when I had kids, I just felt like I wanted my kids to have one of the parents. And I have one of the parents. And then I think part of it was the house.
I think that was part of my situation.
And I didn't want to acknowledge it. And I was, I could fix it. I felt like I could fix it. Knowing I couldn't fix it, but I felt like I needed, like, let me try it. Maybe I can fix it. Because I don't want to acknowledge that I fucked up. I chose the wrong person.
I'll just chime in real quick. This is just a message to all the fellas out there. If y'all out there putting your hands on a woman, bitch, thank you. You're straight fucking coward.
So let's be honest.
A mark. A trick.
From what I've seen, it's really a lot of men who are definitely controlling and putting their hands on their
Right. That's what I definitely
But look, it go deeper than stop taking that shit. Take the time to get to know a person.
So here's the
before
thing.
you
Here's what I had to do. I took the time to learn myself. I cut everything and everybody out. It really had to be me loving me, because you cannot say you love yourself if you let nigga.
Yeah. And see, as a man, I'm gonna tell y'all like this. As a man, I've never
beat on you for that. If you can't say you love yourself. Me now.
Look, real talk.
You can't call yourself a man if you out here putting your hands on women.
I've never been in a situation where a woman got me heated to the point where it made me want to put my hands on her. Well, I've never. I've had a woman like punch me in the face. Like my ex, she punched me in the face, and we was arguing because she wanted to go to the gun range with her male friend, and I was like. Oh, I was like, well, shit. I was like, all right, well, I'm like, well, what time are we going to the gun range? You know, I got my gun too. So, you know what I'm saying? She was like, no, he's just a friend, da 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 da. And so she was driving my car, so I was like, yo, stop the car. We're gonna talk about this. We're about to drive no further till we talk about this. She kept on driving, so I put my foot on the brake. And she punched me in the eye. You know what I'm saying?
Because you now you about to put us in an accident. You put your foot on the brake and shit while I'm driving. I can kind of see her point of view at that point. Because you stepping on the brake with my
well, you know what? So if that's the case, then I should have just slapped the shit out of her because.
So I'm telling her to stop.
Yeah, so I'm telling her to stop my car that she's driving. You feel me? My car. And we're gonna talk about a situation that she's fucking up in. You feel me? And she didn't stop the car, so I put my foot on the brake. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're going to talk about this right now. I didn't put my hands on her, nothing like that.
And what I've learned, cars are the worst place to have an argument because you guys are confined.
I ain't going to say I ain't never, like a woman ain't never gave me reason to want to hit her, but I just chose not to do it.
Yeah, but see, that's what I'm saying. I chose, like, here's the thing. Like, that's why I say, I've never been in a position where I've been so heated to where here's the thing. Yeah, but I'm gonna tell you something like this. You know what fucked me up though? I was raised like that, And the first time I saw a man put his hands on a woman, I saw my grandfather and my mother get into a fight. And then I saw my grandfather and my grandmother get into a fight. You know what I'm saying? And that put me up as a kid because my grandfather was the greatest man I ever known. Like I didn't even think that it was that, you know what I'm saying? It was possible. But see, and it's crazy because I got I kind of understood my grandfather and my mother because like that's his kid. You know what I'm saying? And so like even to this day, wait. But even to this day, like if I said something crazy to my mother would slap the shit out of me, even though we grown. You know what I'm saying? And so like that's his daughter. She said something crazy to him, and they got into it. And then we were fighting over like me killing the chicken. It was real crazy. Like we was on the farm and like look. Because I remember this day vividly. So we you know it was chicken killing day. We got this day.
Chicken killing day. What?
You know what I'm saying?
Real?
Like it's real. Like you know what I'm saying? And this is my
I know my mama watching. They from the country. What they from Alabama? What is chicken killing day?
It's like, it was at our house. It's what we call it. It's like because you have a day where you know you go out and you slaughter the animal. You know what I'm saying?
Everything, all my family.
And you kill like 2 of them, so you ain't gotta keep on doing it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's so like the whole process was. Keep in mind, I'm like 7. You know what I'm saying? I raised these chickens when they was little. You know what I'm saying? So the whole process is you gotta get a chicken. So the whole process is you gotta get the chicken by its neck, and you ring that joint. You start whipping that around until his neck snaps, and his neck will go from his neck will go from being in here, and that was long like this. You know what I'm saying? And so I was trying to ring the chicken, but I'm like, I can't do it. I don't want to do it. This is Trevor. I named him Trevor. Grandpa, don't do it. Don't do it. That's illegal. My grandfather was like, give me that chicken, boy. See this how you do it. Wow. Throw it on the ground. So now I'm going to go on the ground all night, crawling around and shit because they're still moving around. That's why I try to get the next chicken. My mom was like, you know, they get talking to me like, yo, stop having them kill the chicken, pop, da 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 da. And then she's like, you know, I'm trying to teach the boy how to be a man. I ain't gonna discuss Sebastian or something. Little kid fairy tales.
It was Chanticleer.
And so my mother's and they got into an argument or whatever, and they got into a fight. You know what I'm saying? And my grandfather, you know, he hit her with the 1-2. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And then, like, you know, see my grandfather and my grandmother.
Is that domestic violence when a
y'all
father
jumped your mama? No, I wasn't in. I was
me and my grandpa hit it with the 1-2.
No. Me, I said my grandpa hit it with the 1-2. I was just in shock because, like, this is the first time I wanted that bite. This is the first time I ever seen my grandfather like just have a temper period because he was like the coolest motherfucker.
That's not domestic violence.
That's not. But when I saw what happened with him and my grandmother, like that was, you know what I'm saying? And I actually, and I got, you know, and I jumped in and tried to, you know, get my grandfather off my grandmother. You know what I'm saying? Because you know, and I loved them both, and I was just like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? And I was like 10, and I remember we was on the way to my YMCA basketball game. And so, like, that was a weird car ride because we stayed in the country. So I'm in the car with my grandfather, and like right now I'm hating his gut. And we're driving like an hour to the YMCA. I'm just sitting there like in the backseat, like, yeah, like put your hands on my grandma. You know what I'm saying? Get out the car. But at the same time, I'm sad because even as a kid, I didn't grow up with my father. I didn't even meet my father until I was 15. You feel me? And so as a kid, I remember being angry, but then also feeling sad because like, damn, I'm hating the only father I know. You know what I'm saying? Like, you feel me? It was a weird ass feeling. It was so just imagine like when kids they see their parents, you know what I'm saying, in a domestic, you know, violence situation. So women, the reason why I say that is because like domestic violence just don't affect, you know what I'm saying, the mentality of the woman, and it affects the kid. And when the kids see that, and so when I saw that, I made a vow to myself because I saw and I looked at my grandmother's, like my grandmother to me is like my angel. You know what I'm saying? Like my ultimate angel. There's never a woman like, and I love my mother to death. Like is you know, my grandmother, my wife, and you know what I'm saying, like, and my mom, like they all in that jump. But my grandmother is like Mother Teresa. Is like, there's like at that time, especially at that time, like my grandmother was all omnipotent to me. You know what I'm saying? So when he did that kind of, I couldn't believe it. You know what I'm saying? And so, I made a vow to myself that I would never in any situation put my hands on a woman. You know what I'm saying? And And so like, and out of that, you feel me? That, and I literally, and I, like with my father, I didn't meet my father till I was like 14, 15. So I made sure I didn't have kids before I got married. You know what I'm saying? I made sure that, you know what I'm saying, like through the thick and thin,
You
like
learn from your past.
yeah, and I didn't use that shit as an excuse.
Wait, because I want to get this in before our minute.
Oh, yeah.
We talking about accountability.
5 minutes.
Because one thing for women as accountability, and I'm gonna play the devil's advocate. Y'all know I'm good at that.
Mm-hmm.
We talk about how men don't take accountability for what they do. We as women have to take accountability for the fact that sometimes we trigger men.
That's true. Now, here's the thing, and there's nothing wrong with saying that.
No, we don't know sometimes when to. We know the argument getting heated. We know that we need to walk away, but we just gotta have that.
Here's one thing about men. We are filled. We're men, like men. Like I'm talking about men, deli, man. We have
Timbuktu, man.
Timbuktu, man.
I know I got titties, but damn.
Timbuktu, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? But like for real, like, and this is just what it is. Like like me, I know myself. I have a temper. I got a certain. I have a testosterone level. You know what I'm saying? And I have a temper. Like, and I worked a lot on my temper in the last few years. Like, I try not to get into fights or nothing now. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, and the thing is, the reason why is because I know how bad my temper is. You know what I'm saying? I don't fight. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to kill you. You feel me? And I have kids now, so I'm not trying to go to jail. Well, before I had kids, I didn't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying?
I got a special account that's safe for bail money.
Oh, good for you. That's what's up.
Nick might be right. Are you a serial killer?
I got a couple documents.
You know what I'm saying? And the thing is, like, you know, like for real, like I grew up like, you know what I'm saying? Like down south of Alabama, that's what we did. We played basketball and played in the woods and then fought. You know what I'm saying? That was a part of
you one of them kids when I came to Alabama for the summers that used to tease me for being light skinned.
No. I was one of them boys when you came down for the summer that be like, yo, she hot. You know what I'm saying? Like, you feel me? Like, I was a lady. I was a lover boy. I was a lover boy / fighter boy. You know what I'm saying? I used to get bullied. And then once I figured out how to fight, it was like, oh, I could whip ass. Like, and then I was just like, all right, where's the fight at? Man? You know what I'm saying? Once I figured out my powers, but when it comes down to like, I know that even when it comes down to like a woman in a relationship, like I'll hesitate before I punch a dude because I will fuck you up. You know what I'm saying? So when it comes down to a woman, I know not to, you know what I'm saying? Like it's certain like I can't do that to a woman. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause I'm a bad.
He said he want to get it.
I couldn't do that. So I couldn't do what I do to a dude to a woman. Like, I couldn't. You feel me? Which is crazy because I can't see how a dude can just like get on a woman's ass. Like this shit is crazy to me. I don't. Unfathomable.
It's like when I used to
Ike Turner. Like, and then Ike Turner, a little motherfucker. Like,
I was gonna tell us. I told you, I told her part of the.
Indeed.
I'm at the point in my life where I'm not afraid to myself. My ex-fiance was a great motherfucker. His hits were so strong. Like I broke every bone. He broke every bone in my face. Knocked out 3 teeth. My shoulder will never be the same. I got hearing impairment. But I went through it. I stayed after every my lip was.
What made you stay though?
Fear.
That he was going to do something worse if you left.
Mm-hmm.
Something.
I think
that's the topic that we're gonna talk about. We got to. Like, what is that fear? You know what I'm saying? What is that fear?
So people don't really understand that. And people be like, if you from the outside looking in, they be like, oh my God, why she stay? She's so stupid, she's standing there. That fear is real. Y'all don't even understand. And that fear lives deep within you. You fall asleep with that fear. Listen, my ex used to fall asleep and have a dream that I was cheating on him and wake me up with a motherfucking ass with it. I am finally okay with being open and honest with that.
That nigga was crazy.
That nigga was crazy to the next level. But like that's real.
Hey, my dude.
Really go through that.
Hey, I appreciate the fans, but bro, you ain't got to comment on this show no more, dog. Like I don't respect that shit, but like you can leave your comments, bro. I can deal without one less one.
He
Because
ain't commented on it.
I ain't got because here's the thing though. Like if the brothers reform, more power to them. But you know what I'm saying? Like I ain't gonna condone that shit.
Well, I heard he is reformed, and I want to give him kudos because he went through counseling through jail, and I want to give him kudos for that. But on the other hand, I don't respect it because I didn't experience the movie. I got OU, and the OU still lives scars on me and on my children.
And I know the new Adrian, so goddamn it, like that's what I'm rocking with. You know what I'm saying? So straight up. So we about to roll out, man. So save it till next week.
No,
we know we about to roll out, man.
That ain't even right though.
It's right, it's totally right, man.
Let me get her fast, real fast, real fast.
Come on, man. Yo, I gotta think at the same time.
No, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
So basically, if you know that you're probably
we gonna take that over to next week.
Make sure y'all come in next week.
Next week, because we bring
You know what I'm saying?
that.
Hey, and next week we got a special guest in the building. R&B sensation T. Willis is gonna be joining us in the building. We're gonna be talking about her new R&B albums. We're gonna be talking about a lot of relationships and all that good shit. We're gonna have more hot topics, more TMI, more information, because we always deliver too much information when y'all listen to our show.
Support breast cancer, support domestic violence
Word up.
awareness.
Indeed. And my son's birthday is on the 11th. You know what I'm saying?
We're doing a Halloween party
Let's
thing.
go, man. Shout out my son, man.
No,
his
listen.
birthday party's
Are
on.
we doing a Halloween party theme show? I mean,
Oh yeah, we should tell you. Yeah, we're doing it, and I'm gonna dress up as my favorite celebrity, Brandon X Bell. He's my hero.
I'm gonna be Jessica Rabbit, y'all, because she was my favorite person growing up. Like only Brandon and T would know who Jessica Rabbit is.
I do know who Jessica Rabbit is.
Man, what?
I'm not that
Man, what?
But I am almost 40, and I'm proud of it. Time my motherfucking
Listen,
care.
okay, 38 years
You know
old
what
and
I'm
still
saying?
fine.
I'm alive. I survived so much bullshit. I shouldn't be here 4 times. So
Thanks.
we're gonna see y'all next week. You know what I'm saying?
Shout out to Libra season. It's y'all season. We can't ignore y'all because we definitely did very
Indeed. It's your boy Black Nine.
Yeah.
It's your boy Black Nine. We got Queen Adrian, Queen T. You know what I'm saying? We got Slick Nick.
No,
you know what I'm saying? We got Regular Deli.
We got Goddess
Regular Deli
Adrian and Goddess T.
Regular Deli.
We goddesses. We
All right, so if you're gonna call yourself Deli, because I can't say the same. I can't say that part.
Dominique goes not Dominique. Dominique says sexy Deli.
I am handsome D.
Period.
I am handsome black. I am Black the handsome. So now everybody address me as Black the handsome. What? What about Black the dash?
It don't stack. It don't
Sexy Black.
We don't address you as Morpheus.
Sexy
That's
Black.
who you look like right now. That's Morpheus right there. Come with the
Morpheus.
That's who you need to be for Halloween.
I'm coming in for the rest of the show. I'm wearing my leather jacket and shades now, motherfuckers.
I think that it's been unanimous.
And I'm bringing pills.
Red or blue?
Red or blue.
All things synonymous with sexy has been attributed to Sexy Deli now. So you gotta pick.
And that's why I said handsome and dashing.
You gotta be like the
good
great or
looking.
something.
Yeah,
good looking black.
He sold mine. I couldn't be sexy seductive, so I just could be seductive now. He just took the sexy from me.
Oh, what about tantalizing? What about tantalizing B?
I'm just a seduction guy.
I ain't about to go with none of them fruity ass names. We out of here. Peace.